but everything is underneath the lamp. I might have to get a second one so that everything can get more direct light. Okay guys, we are here with our box from the Carnivorous Plant Nursery, and we are going to be unboxing this beauty. Cameraman, make sure that you can't see the address on the thingy. Gotta make sure we cover that. So this box is actually significantly smaller than I thought it would be, but as long as all the plants are there, I don't really care. What is this? Oh, these are my mystery seeds. These are my mystery seeds. Since I spent $100, I got seeds of a plant. It's one of the plants that I already have, but that's fine. So actually, I can show it to you. These are the threadleaf sundew, the Drosera filiformis. This is one of the plants that we already have in here. I can read off to you the ones that, no, actually, I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna do them one by one. So this is the first thing up. We have the pygmy sundew, or a type of pygmy sundew. This is Drosera pelacea. We're gonna be opening that in a minute because you can't really see them there too well. We have the Drosera intermedia, which is in here. Actually, you can see some coming up the top here, which is kind of cool. A lot of these still have their dew on them, it seems, which is nice. We have the Drosera Lantu Island X brevifolia. So I actually don't have too many, what am I trying to say? I don't have too many hybrids because I didn't really want any hybrids. I just wanted the plants that are like specific species. I prefer that. Oh, this is like all of them. I didn't even realize that. So we have the threadleaf sundew, the filiformis. We have the Cape sundew, and my candy stripe Sarracena, which is another type of North American pitcher plant. We have the Capensis, that was right there. That's behind here. Drosera binata, which is the staghorn variety. Then we have my early butterwort, which is Pangicula primuliflora. So we are going to have to take these apart and pot them, because I expected them to come inside of pots. I was wrong. We might have to get more substrate and more pots. I don't know if I have enough pots for this, but we'll make sure to get that done soon. So we will have to go to Lowe's and get some pots, and then while we're there, we're probably going to get some perlite so that we can add it to the substrate, and then we'll come back with our plants and pot them up. However, we can look at this one first, because this one actually came inside of a pot, and this is kind of dirty, so we're probably going to have this underneath here. So this is one of the pygmy sundews. These are very small. Like I don't even know if I'll be able to see them in there, or I don't know if you guys will be able to see them in there. They taped this up, kind of odd. Jesus. All right. How did you? I'm probably just gonna cut out most of this. Of me struggling. You're not allowed to see me struggling. You have to pay for that. It smells kind of like Chick-fil-A sauce. Oh my god, they're so fucking small. Holy shit. Can you even see that? Is it good quality? Okay. Dude, these are so fucking tiny. I'm gonna put my finger next to them. They like dwarf them. I mean, they are dwarf sundew, they're pygmy sundews. Pygmy means small. But oh my god, they like fucking dwarf them. Jesus Christ. They're so cute. They're very young. We're gonna go to Lowe's now. We are on our way to Lowe's. We need two things. We need one, perlite. Perlite is an inert substance, which is good because we can't have anything with nutrients inside of our substrate for the carnivorous plants. But what this does is it actually improves drainage, which is going to be very important because we are going to be loading these things up to the brim with fucking water. Like if you've seen what I've done with the others in the last video, then you know what I'm talking about. Secondly, we need pots. I don't have enough pots for all of them, and I'd prefer to have square pots over the circular ones. But that's about it. When we get to Lowe's or Walmart, wherever we're going, we'll make sure to show you what we're getting. So, apparently, Lowe's doesn't have what we need, which doesn't make any fucking sense. No, bring that back over here. Look at me. So, how is it that Walmart has a bigger garden section than Lowe's? They didn't have anything I needed. But Walmart, I went there and they had what I needed. I don't understand. They have a whole outdoor section. It's like underneath. It's literally outside. Did you know this? Walmart has its own like outdoor section. Like it's outside of the building. It's bigger than Lowe's. That doesn't make any sense. Walmart had a pickaxe. I don't want to drop this, but I want to do the thing where I pull out my mats. Okay. So guys, we have this little box here. We're going to take some of this peat moss, and we're going to take this sphagnum moss. We're going to mix it together. They didn't have Purolite at either of the places that we went to, so we can't use it, but we can still use the other two things, and that's fine. It'll work for now. I'll probably just order some off Amazon. We're just going to be mixing up this peat moss and this sphagnum moss, and we're going to be potting these plants. So I went to Walmart and I got these bigger pots. So I did not want to pot this big because this is kind of overkill. I didn't want it to be this big, but some of these sundews get larger, so we can put them in a bigger pot for now. Make sure that the watering is, what's the term? Like, make sure that the watering is up to standard, and from there, they can grow out into the pot. I think that would make a lot of sense. Walmart just did not have a variety of pots. They had one pot. It was that one. The rest of them were like the decomposable pots, and those just won't work because there's gonna be water in there like halfway up the fucking thing. So, like, if they're decomposable, they're just gonna fall apart, and that just doesn't make any sense. So we're gonna mix all this up in here. This is probably more than enough, maybe. Actually, we'll start with this, and then we'll go from there. We're gonna be mixing it up, taking all these leaves out. We don't want these in here. I'm using this. This is distilled water. This is distilled water. So this is what we need to use for this, to make this all wet, because distilled water does not have any excess nutrients in it. And that is good, because if you have any excess nutrients in your soil, you could very easily kill your plants. These plants, they get their fertilizer from the bugs that they eat. So if you have excess fertilizer in the soil, minerals coming from the water that you're using, you could very easily kill them. And since these guys need a lot of water, that'll compound really quickly. So distilled water is what you have to use if you want to grow any kind of carnivorous plants. This applies to all of them, because carnivorous plants, all of them are carnivorous for the same evolutionary reason, because they live in soil that is very nutrient void. It's like completely void of nutrients. So the way that they get the nutrients is from the bugs that they eat, and that is why all carnivorous plants eat bugs, and it's why all carnivorous plants live in soil that is basically inert. So I'm going to mix these all up. We're going to get these pots ready, and we're going to start planting these sundews. So let's get done with that. Okay, so we're going to start out with the first plant that we're going to be potting, which is the early butterwort, the Pingicula formulabhabida, whatever the hell it was. So if you don't know what a butterwort is, this is a butterwort. Can you even see that? No. You see it that well at all? Okay, so the way that butterworts work is they work kind of like sundews, but instead of sundews having droplets on the leaves that the plants get stuck on, these guys, the leaves themselves are sticky. So bugs get trapped on the top of the leaves, they get stuck to them, and then that's how they kill their prey. They just kind of look like this for their entire lives. They have these nice purple flowers that pop up whenever they're seeding. And so we're going to pot this one. It's pretty simple. They come with little thingies, so I don't have to use any of mine. So stick our finger in there and just stick it right in. That's what she said. That's it. There's really nothing else to it. Just stick it nice in there. And then we're going to be putting a ring of sphagnum moss around the edge, because I think it's pretty when the moss grows, and it helps keep the humidity in, I think. But that's the first one. So we can move on to this nice bunch of sundews. These are just, well, there's also sericina in here. Ooh, I don't like that. So this is the Binata. This is the staghorn one. This one with like the little thingy here. We are going to be putting that one in a bigger pot. And then the capensis, which is this one, we are going to be, oh my god, it's so like wet. We're going to be putting that one in a bigger pot too. And I think we can start with one of the smaller ones here. So this is the threadleaf, the filiformis, so we can start with that one. These specific sundews remind me of Drosselophyllum, which is not a sundew, but it's very similar to a type of sundew. And oh my god, this thing is so small. You can't even see that, it's so small. Jesus. These are probably very young, if I had to guess. There are roots in here, so we're not going to be separating it like that. And then these will grow, of course.
Oni-chan.
Shut up. Okay, next. What else are we going to do next? This is Drosera intermedia, the bird's nest sundew. So we can stick that one of these. Okay, so this one, yeah, you can't even tell. You can't even see it. It's so small. Jesus. Oh my god, that is so tiny. You can't see anything. My goodness. Okay, well, that's next. This is my hybrid. Now, I don't really keep hybrids that much because I prefer having just straight up species. I will keep hybrids in the future if I ever wanted to sell them because, you know, you can make a lot more hybrids than there are species. But Jesus Christ, look at how pretty these are. We're going to be showing these under some light so that you can really see how pretty they are, but my goodness. And I don't even know if you can see that, cameraman, like that. Do you see this thing? This thing's sick. You can like fit it inside of the thingy. Okay. So I believe I have it. So here. Okay, so this is the Sericina leucophylla, the candy stripe morph. The leucophylla, the Sericanas, I didn't want any hybrids, but all of the non-hybrid species were. Like, the only ones you could buy were the large ones, and the large ones were like $40, and I didn't want to pay that much. I only wanted to, like, the $10 little one. And this is the only one that wasn't a hybrid that was available, so it's really tiny. Like, it doesn't even have pictures, it's so tiny. But we are going to be planting this thing up to here. You want this exposed. You don't want to plant it like this, you want it planted like that. So that's what we're going to be doing. And then this is the last one that we will be planting inside of these little pots. These last two will be potted inside of the bigger pots once you're done. Okay. It's pretty simple. So we have all of these planted so far. The butterwort looks really pretty. I like the butterwort. There's a lot of species of butterwort. There's like 200 species of sundew and a bunch of morphs that people are making. There's a bunch of pygmy sundew variations that I've seen. The flowers are really pretty. That's really the selling point of those, I think, are the flowers. Cameraman has decided that it's very important that leaky anus is to be on my head while I'm doing this. So I guess he can be there for now. Just don't be mean to me. This is kind of uncomfortable to keep my head like this, so could you like take him off now? Okay, so this is the staghorn sundew, and actually it kind of looks like that somebody put some bugs on here before it came to me, so that's cool. But so we have these two pots set up for the Cape sundew and the staghorn. These sundews get kind of big, so that's why they have the bigger pots. And I'm going to just try to see if I can get off a little bit of this, so that it might be easier to stick inside the thingy. Okay, this is the staghorn pot. Make a nice little hole. Need to shove that down in there. Just pot it up. And that'll do. Good in there for a little bit. Then we have the Cape sundew. This is the only one that I have that's tropical, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I can see... Oh, this one is also tropical. This one has a dormancy as well. So does the Cape sundew. Some of these have dormancy, some of them don't. So this one will grow year-round regardless. It's probably the most common species you can get besides like spatulata. It's probably the most famous one as well, probably. Sundews are all over the place. You can find them in Europe, you can find them in Africa, you can find them in Asia. You might be able to find them somewhere in the US. I don't actually know about that. I know that the Sericina can be found in my home state, which is kind of cool. A specific species, I don't remember exactly which one. Dropping this Cape sundew down into the pot. Be closing that up around them. Look at that, happy little sundew. My mother does not like the sundews. She thinks that their stickiness is gross. I think that they're cool. But everything's potted up. We're gonna be putting them under the light, and we're gonna be looking at them under the light too. I'm going to be taking these seeds and just put them in with the other Filiformis because they're the same species. I don't need to make another pot for these, so that's what we're gonna be doing. But I'll see you then. So we have all of them planted here. The light had to be kind of messed around with so that everything could be touched by the light, but everything is underneath the lamp. I might have to get a second one so that everything can get more direct light. However, this will be good for now. We're going to be pouring the rest of the distilled water into this little thingy so that everything can have water inside of it. This here is oak leaf creeping fig. Now this is not going to fit in there, but there's no problem, is what we're going to do. Just going to put it in here. The squam's not going to mess with it, and it's not going to bother the squam, and it will be underneath a grow light. No harm, no foul, pal. There we go. Problem solved. I'm growing oak leaf creeping fig because I kind of ran out of it because I had to use it in that terrarium, and it died, so that kind of sucks. But doesn't really matter. Squam doesn't care. Everything's good. Okay. You can stop filming now. There's nothing happening. Oh, I see. You're joking. You're messing around. Out of my way. Ah, wise guy is a jokester. That was not funny. I'm sorry.
Guys, put in the comments what insect should cameraman get. Put that in the comments down below.
Certainly one of them.
Certainly one of them. Make sure you like, subscribe, and